The reality is the immigration debate is getting very vociferous. It is ugly. We have an obligation to speak out and no longer stand for that. I have a favorite quote. Wait till you hear my quote. Thank you. I quote interesting people. And today I want to quote Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The road from legitimate suspicion to rampant paranoia is much shorter than we think. We can no longer afford to let our politicians run amok with paranoid dreams and sacrificing the basic rights and liberties that we enjoy as Americans. When we let them, the federal government and the state governments, take basic rights away from immigrants, we are simply letting them take them away from ourselves. And we cannot let that stand any longer. We have, I believe, a duty to give back. Volunteerism, as Carlina pointed out, is very, very important to me. Within AILA, we have two incredible programs that we simply don't have enough involvement from our members with. The first, I proudly wear a little badge. You know, we all have these little donkey things we get for the state fairs about what things we do. But one which I joyfully wear is this red, white, and blue one. Colonel Margaret Stock, one of our members, an extraordinary individual, started last year the Military Assistance Program within AILA, where we team up in a pro bono effort to help the men and women serving actively in our military. Who deserves more free legal help than those defending our freedoms today? I call on each of us, and I'm not kidding, I will be calling you. I call on each of us to sign up for the Military Assistance Program at the AILA booth in the exhibit hall and online when you get back home. It is incredibly rewarding. You know, you cannot believe how CIS mistreats these kids. It is horrible what they do to these kids. Recently, we had one kid for a case we took that was serving actively in Afghanistan, and he couldn't get his wife interviewed for a green card. This kid is literally serving on the front lines of Afghanistan. He could die tomorrow, and she would get nothing. And they were jerking this poor guy around from abroad. And nothing was cooler than making his wife get that interview quickly. We have that obligation, we have that right, and we have that great privilege to honor our men and women in service. And I ask each of you to do that when you go home today. I also ask you to enroll and help with our Citizenship Day. Think about what we have as citizens today, besides the fact that we can't be deported yet. Give them time. We have coming up a defining election in our nation's history. Regardless of who wins that election, the course of the next decade or two or three will develop right in the middle of our immigration practices. We have to get as many people registered to vote and thus naturalized as we possibly can between now and October. Get involved with AILA's Citizenship Day this year and next year. Understand that by helping our clients naturalize, by reaching out and helping individuals accomplish what is really in many ways a relatively simple process, made difficult only by the bureaucracies that run it, we need to help people make this happen. I call on each of us to get involved in AILA Citizenship Day and to reach out in your own communities, to do your own volunteer work as suits your own heart and soul, what makes you happy and gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. I urge each of you to do that. Reach out and help people. Help them as only you can as immigration lawyers. We have what I believe to be the most complicated immigration system in the world. Now, maybe there's good reasons for it and maybe there's not. But it's a system that cries out for our assistance. Please help those who cannot help themselves. Be that force for good. Finally, the last thing that I believe is one of the things most sacred to me. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I believe it is a divinely inspired document. And I believe that the Bill of Rights really does mean what it says. And I really do believe that we have a right to have warrants present when they come search our computers at the airport. And I really do believe that they can't knock our doors down claiming they're just immigration looking for somebody. And I really do believe that everybody has a right to counsel in America. And I will no longer stand silently by and let them rip away these basic constitutional rights. I am tired of it. I am simply tired of it. In World War I, at the Battle of Verdun, the French had had enough. And they drew a line, they said, this far and no farther. And they held. And that is the line we draw today. This far and no farther. Will you stand with me? Will you fight these people? Will you take them to court? Will you stand up for your clients? Will you do everything in your arsenal to use the sword of justice to fight this good fight and preserve the Constitution of the United States? Will you do it? Will you do it? I beg you, we must do it. So there you have what I believe. It's a very interesting thing to believe. Believing alone is not enough. We must also act. In another favorite quote from the Batman movie, my wife loves this quote. It's not who you are on the inside that matters, but by your actions that you are measured. We have that responsibility to act, to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know, if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and still when I'm laid to my rest. Those are the words from the man of La Mancha. I believe those. I believe each of you believe those as immigration lawyers, and I call on you to fulfill them. Thank you.